We mentioned that Chandler qualified in the 4th position. Let's get to our starting lineup. The ToyotaCare 250 starting grid. Bottom of the screen, Brandon Jones on the front row with Parker Retzlaff. Row 2, there's Chandler with Cole Custer, who won this race 2019.
And here in row 3, Corey Heim along with Justin Allgaier. This is a racetrack that Justin is very strong at. Expect him to be good on the long haul here.
I'm looking at the next row, row 4. Look at these guys. We got Jesse Love. Hey, Virginia's for lovers. Maybe it's for Jesse Love. We're going to find out here in a little bit. AJ Allmendinger, always a threat here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Allmendinger won career short track win. Came a few years ago at Bristol, row 5. Parker Kligerman, fresh off a top 5 finish at COTA, alongside Eric Almirola, who made his career debut right here in an Xfinity car, 2006, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. We'll continue to look at that starting grid in the pylon in a moment. But first, we remind you of some of the new faces you'll see racing today, making their debut. Taylor Gray driving the 19 for JGR, qualified 27th. He's a regular in the Truck Series. Logan Bearden is here, rolls 32nd. And 37th today for Bubba Pollard, the late model legend. Was quick in practice, didn't get it done in qualifying. It'll be fun to watch him drive through the field. Now we hear from our pit reporters, and we start things off with Regan Smith. Hello, Regan.
Well, good afternoon, Adam. You mentioned Bubba Pollard. What an opportunity it is for him at 37 years old to make his Xfinity Series debut in a very strong race car, the 88 for Junior Motorsports. He told me earlier, just before he got in the car, qualified didn't go like he wanted, no, but in practice he was able to figure out exactly what he needed to with the car to be able to correlate how the tires would fall off, so he knew what to expect as this race plays out. Keep an eye on him. This is a cool situation for him to be out there today. Josh?
Well, Shane Van Gisbergen got his first taste of NASCAR beating and banging last week in Austin as he and Austin Hill traded paint in the final laps of that race. Well, afterward, a little frustration from the drivers. They had a chance to talk this week in the sim, and they feel like they're good. They're ready to move past that. So let's do that. In terms of the race here today, SVG told me this is the first time he's had tires fall off as much as they did during that practice session. So keep an eye on how the 97 is able to manage that out here today. Adam?
Thank you, Josh. And when the checkered flag went in the air, Van Gisbergen was second last week, but you saw the penalty there drops him back to 27th, which was big because if you factor those points in that he lost, he would be above the cut line after 5 races. Unfortunately, now some work to do as we move forward. And with that, we've seen a lot of different styles of tracks. So let's look at a few of the highlights from our standings as we look forward to race 6. Austin Hill leading the way. We said that earlier. Chandler Smith has been solid. Our reigning champ Cole Custer third despite looking for his first win. Jesse Love, the rookie, has been great. Parker Kligerman, a nice surprise. And Anthony Alfredo has been consistent. He's above the cut line. There's SVG in 14th. And Sam Mayer got his first top 10 last week, much needed after recording a DNF in 3 of the first 4 races this year. When we look at the standings, guys highlighted in yellow up there locked in with their victories. Plus 43 for Love. He continues to manage the early portion of his career quite well. And Riley Herbst, even though they've had some hiccups on track, been involved in accidents, they've done a really nice job of getting stage points that minimizes the damage, and that's why they come into today 42 above that cut line. Our race analysis, 250 laps. Nearly 200 miles here. Stage 1, Stage 2, both 75 laps. That final stage, 100. The fuel window, insignificant. The big thing today, how do you manage those tires? These teams have 3 sets laying in the pits. Let's get some pep talk pre-race from Corey Heim's team.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. It's really our best opportunity yet between me and this team. So appreciate all you guys for your hard work and make sure we make a good package. Might need to tune on it a little bit, but I'm confident we got a fast car today. So appreciate you all.
Corey driving the 26 for Sam Hunt Racing. That's a team that's enjoyed a lot of success right here at Richmond.
He's had a strong car, a lot of racetracks, but short tracks, as he said right there, this is his best opportunity. The short tracks, especially at a track like this, it seems to kind of wash out some of the disadvantages of that a smaller team may have, right? Whether it's engine or aerodynamics. Here at Richmond, yeah, it matters, but not as much as other racetracks.
Corey, one of those drivers that's been outstanding racing in the Craftsman Truck Series. Won last week at Circuit of the Americas, was the regular season champion a season ago, and of course made the championship 4, and be fun to watch him. Trucks make their return this coming Friday at Martinsville. Pacing the field today, the Toyota GR Supra.
Pace car got an extra lap today. We're supposed to run one less pace lap. We had an issue on pit road where the 8 car wouldn't start, which was part of the delay. They got him back going. It looks like he's in a good position now. 8 car, Sammy Smith.
Justin Allgaier, 2-time winner here, starts 5th today.
Proud of the effort, proud of the car we brought here. I'm looking forward to this place, man. The way this year's going, it's not been for lack of effort. We all know that, and today's a good day to turn that around.
Heartbreak at Phoenix, but we know Allgaier is awesome at this style of racing. We'll see if today nets him victory number 1 at 2024. It's 250 laps at this awesome short track Richmond Raceway. Jones, Retzlaff, front row. Here we go in the Commonwealth.
Parker with a good start, but Cole Custer with an even better start, trying to get into turn 1 on him. Trying to get position early on in this run so you can manage your car after that. They're going to race side by side down the backstretch.
Parker's fighting hard. He wants to lead this first lap. Got his first career pole. He's going to burn a little bit of tire up here. You know it. He wants to lead that first lap, Joey.
Doesn't pay much to lead the first one. You want to lead the last one, but you also want to get control, as I said. Once you get out there and you can manage your car, it's just going to compound as the run goes. This is a long first run of the race possibly for these guys on tires, so you want to make sure you manage it as Cole kind of files into line there.
Riley Herbst, his teammate, looking out of line. 98 is Herbst. The 51 was Jeremy Clements.
Yeah, the outside lane on the start of this race did not go at all. The second place starter, Brandon Jones, is all the way back to 4th, and the whole outside row lost almost 2 to 3 spots.
Allgaier on the move, looking inside of Custer for 2nd.
I see it was so important for Justin right here to not use up too much tire to make this pass, but hey, if you got the opportunity to get your nose out underneath Cole Custer right here, he's going to try to take it.
I don't know what the payback would be, but if you're betting safe money, these two are probably the route you need to go in Vegas. Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, really good here. Veterans that understand balancing the car over the long haul. 7 in front of the 00 off of turn 4.
There's great battles everywhere. Here we see Chandler Smith making a pass here, get back to 4th where he started. Remember, the outside road didn't go very well on the start, so he's just recovering from some of that loss on the initial start.
This is our Toyota onboard camera. Corey Heim carrying that today. 6 behind Brandon Jones. Got a Toyota right behind him, the veteran Eric Almirola.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Eric can do here today. This was one of his best tracks, I feel like, in the Cup Series. He's going to be a threat today for sure in my mind.
Tell you what I heard right there as we ran along with Corey Heim, I could hear him roll out of the gas pedal. That tells me he's managing his car a lot. He's rolling out. He's not using much brake, managing it through this first stage. I guess 75 laps you're going to have to go on this set of tires. It's a long, long ways on a set of tires around Richmond.
Here you see Eric Almirola in the 20 Gibbs car.
We got a lot of racing back here. Sammy Smith in the 8, Parker Kligerman on the outside. You know, this is when, you know, you're just kind of stacked up. You don't know which lane to pick. If you're Jeremy Clements, you're the top or the bottom. How do I not get past here? How do I follow through to make the pass if I can?
Some great veterans in that mix. Talk about Parker Kligerman, top 5 last week at COTA. Got Ryan Sieg there, Jeremy Clements, drivers that have been around quite some time and understand how to get it done. But it's the young guy, Sammy Smith, who jumps out to lead that pack. Another teenager up in front of him, the 2 of Jesse Love.
Oh, some contact.
Yeah, AJ got in there a little bit hot and slid up. And now he's going to get pressured by Sammy Smith.
Really easy to do here. When you get into turn 3, these cars get really light, get a little free, and you can't turn the wheel to the left. You got to let it go or you're going to wreck yourself. And sometimes when there's someone close to you, you make the contact. Here we're going to get a good replay of it. 16 car AJ Allmendinger. Here you see him. It's a little bit harder, a little bit too high.
Oh.
Nice save there by Jesse Love.
Yeah, Jesse Love there was probably like, hey.
Yeah, I gave you the whole lane.
What was that about?
It's early.
So we're starting to see the pace fall off. Fastest lap to start this race was a 24 flat. The cars are already down to 24.50, so about a half a second slower. That's a long distance on this racetrack, and that's a lot of speed through the center of the corner and exit, Joey.
I tell you, but I've been watching Parker Retzlaff come off the corner here. He's very low on the exit, keeping his car as straight as he can, taking that lateral out of his head, getting that steering wheel nice and straight before he accelerates. That's going to help manage his tires.
See Austin Hill making some moves for the pack next to Jeb Burton.
He qualified 16th back there in 19th. You mentioned Jeb Burton. This is the Celsius onboard camera. Tight racing early at Richmond.
Ryan Ellis right in front of him in the 43.
I mean, that's just, it's tiptoeing. You know, you hear him, like, you feel like at Richmond, you're going so slow. It just feels slow, and you're just sliding around, and just very small movements inside the race car really makes a big difference. So you really are driving on eggshells. There's a three wide into three here.
I don't think that's allowed at Richmond, is it? 3 wide into the corner?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go for it. These guys are racing really hard right now, Joey. And like you said, they've got to go another 60-some laps on these tires. Woo! If they're sideways now, wait until lap 70.
Outside lane paid off there for Ryan Sieg as he's able to get around Jeremy Clements. Sam Mayer in the 1, racing with Parker Kligerman for 13th. And waiting in the wings, Riley Herbst.
There's just action all over this track. This is why I love Richmond, guys. Terrific racing.
Coming into today, Parker Retzlaff had led 12 laps in his career. Starts on the pole. He's led them all so far this afternoon. 13 out front for the Wisconsin-born driver. Not even 20 laps in, caution is out in the ToyotaCare 250. Ryan Vargas with an issue, driving the 32.
Something is burning up.
I would say, you know, I'm not a smart man, Joe, but I'd say something broke on that thing.
It sounds like the wisdom of a driver that's won here 4 times.
Yes. I think we have a replay here. Maybe we'll see what happened.
Oh, you see him go in the corner. That thing does not turn. Oh, and you see a fire in the left front. Yeah, I think maybe the brakes gave out there. Possibly.
Thankfully, he avoided any contact with the wall, but doesn't look like that thing has the ability to keep moving.
Ryan's going to do some racing over in Europe, and this weekend driving that 32. Partnership between Jordan Anderson and Mike Harmon.
Lots of smoke in that car. Something's definitely on fire. Hard to tell what it was.
Retzloff has led all 21 laps so far today. Handled the initial start pretty well. Was able to pull the top spot away from the competition. And once he got out there, he's doing the deal.
Yeah, right before we went to break, we saw there was a plate on the nose of his car. So I think he very much welcomed this yellow because it appears to have cleared that plate off. And folks at home, this is why we don't litter. We don't want to ruin somebody's day on the racetrack here.
That's the one downfall of leading races. You're the first to get to the debris and pick it up, right? Vargas out of the car. Caution 22 laps in at Richmond. Working caution at Richmond for the NASCAR Xfinity Series with Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski. I'm Adam Alexander. Parker Retzloff started on pole. He's led them all. And we talk about the significance of tire fall off here. You get a caution. Conventional wisdom says come down pit road, get some fresh tires. Not an option right now for these teams, for most of them anyway.
They want to, but you can't because there's not enough tires. There's only 3 sets of tires laying, and when you think about the 2 stages and then the last stage, you're going to want to have a set there. Look at the tire fall off. This is from lap 2 to lap 18. The ghost car in the front, that's the beginning of the run. Look at the distance as they come around to turn 4. They're going to, that's a lot of distance. You're talking 8 to 10 car lengths by the time you get to the start-finish line. But you can't afford to use your set of tires now, not have something to win the race with at the end of the day. So these restarts are going to be nuts. Regan?
Well, Joe, you guys saw the debris that was on Parker Retzlaff's car in the 31 there. Good opportunity that the yellow came out. They had just told him to keep an eye on the temperatures as they were climbing. No word from the driver that they were too high, though. They were okay in the car when the caution came out. And think about this. He told me earlier today, as good as he was in qualifying, he felt like his car was actually better on the long runs in the race. He showed that early on so far.
Yeah, he definitely did. And we talked about how good of a job he was doing, just straightening out his exit and managing his tires and all that. But I tell you what, this restart is about to be a pedal fest, as I call it, off of turn 4 to take the green flag. Oh, good luck hooking these bad boys up.
Yeah, so you're going to struggle to find launch in the Geico restart zone. And then you're going to get down to turn 1 and 2, and this thing's not going to want to turn at all. And that's what makes this such a challenge for all of these drivers. The further backyard's almost an even bigger challenge. And I can't wait to see what happens here, guys.
Yeah, look for cars to be washing up into turn 1 here.
A lot of experienced drivers around Retzlaff. Allgaier to his outside, Cole Custer behind him. Brandon Jones is there. Pretty good jump for Retzlaff, but here comes Cole Custer down low.
Same thing we saw on the initial start, guys, where he was able to get through the gears just a little bit faster, get that drive, and get underneath. 3 wide down the back.
Close to contact if there wasn't there.
Justin Allgaier is going to come out ahead of this whole thing here. What a good start for Justin. Just free roll in the top. Nice.
Retzlaff worrying about Custer down low. Allgaier drives to the outside and says, I will take the lead. Thank you very much.
And Corey Hyman, the 26, and a great start as well. Same thing, just kind of rolling that top a little bit. Parker's not firing off as fast as he wanted to on the bottom there, and it just looks like he's stacking up the field behind him, and the top's rolling. Corey Himes going to clear himself down there. Here comes Cole Custer moving up.
And Eric Almirola a part of that mix. Here's the contact down the back straightaway. There it was.
I don't think Cole Custer knew that they were 3 wide right there, and he wanted that little bit of room to kind of blend up, and Parker was trying to leave a little bit of room for Justin Allgaier here.
Yeah, it probably have been pretty clear. He'd been close to clear if he throttled up and got out of there, and I think Cole was kind of counting on that. Just racing. You see the same thing here. Brandon Jones, now he's rolling the top side of Parker Retzlaff. His car is not fired off the same as it was when it was out front here, and you see everyone's kind of taking advantage of that on him.
You can't take away from Parker Retzlaff, though. You know, him and Jordan Anderson, they paired together here over the last few years, and they get so much out of their equipment. Of course, don't have the budget some of the big teams have, but leading a lot of the race, sitting on the pole, they have a lot to be proud of here today. This is almost a statement race for them. But he's fighting as hard as he can to try to keep it up there. But even if he doesn't, you got to say that he's leaving a mark here.
Josh, what about Brandon Jones?
Yeah, Brandon Jones was really excited about the car heading into this race with what they showed in practice and qualifying. Felt they could really control this race, but coming over the radio just a little while ago, he said he's fighting a really loose car. He said it's too loose for him to make the moves he wants. Pretty good in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4 have been a bit of a battle for the 9 team.
Tell you, car I'm looking at right now is Eric Almirola in the 20. That thing looks hooked up pretty well, and I am not surprised. This is Eric Almirola's maybe one of 2 of his best racetracks. Richmond and Loudon just says Eric Almirola all over it all the time, especially on the long haul. And you're starting to see that show up in the Xfinity Series right now.
And if you go back to practice earlier today, 30 lap average Eric Almirola the best of the bunch. That's what you want. Be good on the long haul here. We've talked about it. He's a veteran. He understands how to take care of his equipment. We mentioned earlier the fact that he began his career with Joe Gibbs Racing right here at Richmond. 2006. Running a part-time schedule, and so far so good.
Yeah, Cole Custer's seen him making a little bit of time up there in the second lane. He moved up there to see if he could find a little bit of speed, playing a little defense on Eric. Here we see Parker still, struggling on this refire, and these cars are just moving up and trying to get air to roll his outside.
Yeah, for some reason, the second lane here over the last, since the restart has looked really good, Joey. These Xfinity cars seem to really like it up there.
Yeah, Eric's being patient. You can see he's doing a good job of getting to the bottom, packing air on Cole Custer. He's probably going to turn underneath him here. Yep.
Ooh. These are old teammates. Eric was driving at Stewart-Haas, so they've shared plenty of time together. 20 inside of the 00. Move Almirola up to third in the running order.
I like what I saw out of Eric's car right there. He's able to get into turn 3 pretty hard in the bottom lane, didn't get loose, and then had that nice, great exit off the bottom of turn 4. That's usually a sign of a car that's got great speed and a driver that's very disciplined.
Yeah, things solid right now. Look for him to drive to the front.
And this is the race for 11th on back. Mayer is there. Allmendinger, Austin Hill. Justin Allgaier leading this race. He's led 11 laps today. Over 500 in his career at Richmond. We're halfway through the opening stage. Caution is out at Richmond. Brandon Jones had a good start to the day, running inside the top 10. Let's go back and see what happened. Contact with a couple of drivers involved, actually.
It's a little nudge here off of turn 4 from Parker Retzlaff.
You see him down into turn 1.
Oh, it looks like something broke. Maybe.
Man, gosh.
There's something coming out. Yeah, there's something coming out underneath that car. And the car's behind him, wrecked, so that would make sense why that might have happened. Oh, yeah, we can see a lot of fluid on the track now. Yeah, it looks like something breaks in the left front.
Came off or something. Doesn't it look like it?
Yes, that's not smoke. That's fluid coming out from underneath the left front wheel of this car.
Mentioned a couple of drivers involved, and we'll see who else slides into the picture.
Oh, you see the cars behind him spinning into oil?
39 is Ryan Sieg. He was the one that we saw spinning. Jones is out of the car. Boy, he had such a good start to the year last couple of weeks. Some bobbles that will hurt them, no doubt. And prior to that, we had a great battle for the lead as Allgaier's trying to hold off Corey Heim, and the 26 is really good early.
Yeah, Corey Heim did a textbook job getting a run up there in the second lane, crossing over Allgaier. Boom, clears him into one. Justin doesn't really fight that too much. Knew it was a long ways to go, but great pass by Corey Heim right there.
That's how it's done. Nice job, Corey. It was a great pass. Clean, too.
Did get a report. It was a motor issue on the 9 of Brandon Jones. Let's listen to their radio.
Oh, I think it's the motor's locked up. Bad vibration. It's blowing smoke everywhere. I can bring it to you, but it's definitely the motor. Now there's fire blowing out of it.
Yeah, you don't usually see a lot of engine failures here at Richmond. It's interesting. These short tracks generally are actually a little easier on the engine. You might run them some high RPM, but the loading, especially at Richmond, is a lot less than most tracks. But what you do see quite often is with the NASCAR seal rule, where you have to use engines over and over again. A lot of teams will use engines that have a lot of miles on them, a lot of laps on them at Richmond. So they'll reuse an engine here. And hate to speculate on what happened, but just not normal to see engine issues at Richmond, Joey.
No.
Tough break for Brandon Jones. Second caution of the day. 29 to go, stage 1. Engine problem for Brandon Jones, and Ryan Sieg caught up as well. Tonight, Fox Saturday Baseball returns with a star-studded showdown as Aaron Judge and Juan Soto lead the Yankees against Jose Altuve and the Astros, or the Giants take on the Padres. It all begins 7 Eastern. Check for the game in your area. Under caution for the second time today in the ToyotaCare 250. It's a Toyota out front. Corey Heim leading laps for the first time in his career, driving for owner Sam Hunt, who considers this racetrack his home track.
At some point here, we're going to be talking about that winning race for Sam Hunt Racing. What would it mean to have it come at your home track?
It'd mean everything. We finished 3rd there 2 years ago, and that alone was one of the most special days of my life. So to have it happen at Richmond would be special for sure. We know that day will come, whether it's Richmond or anywhere else.
Sam was a racer. He said, I figured out when Kyle Larson cut a tire and passed me in a K&N race that I probably shouldn't be a driver. Maybe I should get into the ownership side of things, developed a relationship with J.D. Gibbs. J.D. said, you need to go to college. Sam did, VCU, right here in Richmond, Virginia, and has done a great job of building this program. A.J. Allmendinger, 11th under caution. Listen in.
I mean, I'm just free-falling right now. It's miserable to drive, but I got you. I'm afraid of getting wrecked, honestly. I mean, I'm always going to fight for you, bud, but this is just awful how slow we are. All right, let's pit.
Whoa.
That's an option.
Yeah, pit road's still closed at the moment, so we haven't had the opportunity to see if they're going to do that. But you see right there, 26 laps to go in the stage. That's boy, you're going to go back green, let's say maybe 22-ish, 20 to 22 laps to go in the stage. What do you do at the end of the stage? That's the question. Are you going to stay out with 20 laps on your tires for another 75-lap stage after that? I don't know.
I mean, we've had a lot of green flag laps, but I would say you could take this set of scuffs maybe and reintroduce them to the equation later as Lane Perkins has come to a stop in the 29.
What happened there? He's going to put a push truck to him, get him.
Like, I can hear it try to crank, but there's just no fire.
Huh. Kind of odd. Happened under caution. So, I mean, I think if you do pit here, you got yourself in a good position to try to go up there and win the stage possibly and get some stage points. It's just you
throw away any shot at the race.
The price is expensive.
We mentioned the new faces in today's race. The headliners, Bubba Pollard, the late model legend, and Taylor Gray, who's a series regular in the Craftsman Truck Series. Didn't have great qualifying runs, but right now 21st, 24th. Let's get to know them just a bit better.
Hi, my name's Taylor Gray. I'm 19 years old. I was born in 2005. I'm from Artesia, New Mexico. Bubba Pollard, 37 years old, 1987, from Sonoma, Georgia. Yeah, it was around probably 2015. I was obviously a little guy. Yeah, so I pretty much grew up racing. I've been around it my whole life. Kind of as time went on, got more serious about it and ended up making it into a career. My granddad built a racetrack, dirt track back then, but we've been racing now for almost 30 years, so it's been a big part of our family.
Nothing screams NASCAR like the story of these two drivers making their Xfinity debut. One's 37, one's 19. That's pretty cool.
It's pretty neat. And what Dale Jr. has done with Bubba Pollard here, Bubba is an incredible late model racer that is very tough to beat. I remember racing him when I was racing late models years and years ago. To see him get the opportunity here is cool. It's just hard to be able to learn in a short amount of practice that you have in the Xfinity Series. Pit road's open here. See if we have any takers.
Oh, we're going to have a few. Looks like A.J. Allmendinger.
A.J. said he was planning to come, and he will. Yep, Jeremy Clements. So some drivers getting out of balance on Saturday. Looks like Shane Van Gisbergen also going to make a stop here. Josh?
Well, Adam, you heard the frustration from A.J. Allmendinger over the radio. A lot of things to battle for him. He said the car is on the splitter. He's lacking overall grip, and he needs more drive off. The team told him to come down and pit. They got to make something happen to help their driver out. They're going to make a bunch of changes, add a packer, add a couple of rounds to the left rear to see if they can help him out, guys.
So no tires on these cars. It's interesting. They're just going to give up the track position to be able to make a few adjustments on them. So they're not going to come ripping through the field like we thought they were, Joey.
No, that's what I thought, man. Putting tires on here with just 20 laps to go or so, I didn't get it. So making an adjustment, I still don't know if I agree with that.
Brennan Poole, Kyle Sieg, other drivers that elect to come down under caution. Brandon Jones had an engine issue. He goes for a ride. Ryan Sieg involved. We'll go green when we come back. Ready to put the final touches on stage one at Richmond for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in the ToyotaCare 250. Corey Heim, the race leader, leading laps for the first time in his Xfinity Series career. So good when it comes to the Craftsman Truck Series. And last Saturday, getting his first win of 2024, putting himself in the playoffs. It was career victory number 6. You talk about young drivers that have a chance to go all the way to the top. He really checks all the boxes.
Yeah, absolutely. Did a tremendous job last week in that truck race. You know, there was a lot of heat being put on him there by a couple other drivers, and he did a good job managing that race where there's no marks on his truck and ran really well.
And afterwards he said it's Heim time. And right now it's Regan time. Regan Smith on pit road.
Well, Adam, he's having a good time in the car right now as well. A lot of guys complaining about different handling issues. Corey Heim telling his team he's just a little bit tight initial throttle and exit, but does not mind that. And keep an eye also, Sam Hunt Racing, they've got over 400 people, friends, family, and college buddies that are in the stands today. If he can keep that up front all day, what a party it'll be at the end of this race.
That's what I was going to say. If the frat brothers are here, we're going to party all night long if we get the victory lane.
And it's one of the cool things about Sam Hunt Racing. A young owner, right? Jordan Anderson, same thing. You don't typically see that in our sport very often. Pretty cool to see him successful.
Saw Blaine Perkins in the garage after they had stalled under caution.
Guys, I can't wait for this restart. The last restart, Justin Allgaier was running second and outside the lane. He took the lead against Parker Retzlaff. Can he do that again here against Corey Heim?
Going to be 19 to go on the stage, and watch Eric Almirola, who's up there as well.
Another really strong launch, Joey. And Cole Custer right back to the bottom again. Not going to be able to get underneath him this time.
No, he does like that move a lot. And don't forget about Eric Almirola right back there in the outside of the second lane. We know he was really strong comes the end of this run, but Justin Allgaier going to get cleared almost into 3.
Cleared almost.
That's why I'm not a spotter.
That won't work on the spotter stand.
But Corey Heim's fighting back here into turn 1, guys. He's still there.
And Eric's looking for any opportunity to where he can cross and break the plane of either one of them to try to get to second.
I love this view.
There's no saving tires here, guys. There's only 18 laps to go in the stage. You're going to use what you got.
Let it all hang out.
This is where you get the reward for saving your tires so long. You get to race hard right now.
How does the balance change on these tires after a heat cycle as we nearly have some contact for the top spot?
Yeah, you're definitely going to lose that rear grip, and that rear grip can kind of manifest itself two ways. It's either lateral control of the car to keep you from spinning out, or longitudinal control of the car to give you that forward bite or drive out of the hole after you got done slowing down for the corner.
Justin Allgaier now leads. That's not surprising. Brad talking longitudinal control was something we didn't expect in the broadcast today.
You asked, I answered, Double A.
Almirola now to the outside lane, trying to get second away from his Toyota teammate.
Yeah, he was waiting for those two cars to get single file so he can make a move. He capitalized as soon as he saw that door open up on the outside to roll it.
Hey, let's give some love to Riley Herbst, who's come from 14th at the start to the top 5, right behind his teammate.
I'll tell you something I like seeing right there from the in-car camera of Corey Heim. Those two cars in front of him go into the corner and the back end sliding. They are drifting these cars down into the corner, trying to maintain control as they're running down each other for the lead. It's pretty fun to watch.
That second lane just keeps winning all the battles right now, Joey. It's looking really strong.
Two good young drivers here, Chandler Smith, Sam Mayer. Mayer's had a nice day so far. He didn't qualify great, but he's hanging around and in position to get stage points, which he desperately needs.
Yeah, you bring up, Brad, how that second lane is so strong. I agree when they're too wide. But as soon as they get back single file, it seems like the fastest lane is still
back down on the bottom.
On the bottom.
Austin Hill has worked his way up to the top 10. And the pole sitter Parker Retzloff right in front of him. Sammy Smith is there, so is Parker Kligerman.
Still got a great battle for the lead here. Eric Almirola is right there on Justin Allgaier. He's going to try to make the pass on the bottom. Not enough drive up off of turn 4 here, but he's keeping Justin Allgaier in check.
I think what Justin knows is, hey, if he gets to my outside, it's game over. So I'm going to give him the bottom and play that as defense. So it's going to be tough for Eric to make this pass and finish it on the bottom. I think Justin knows he's going to get beat either way, at least as far as he's going to drive away from him at this point. So his best defense is making sure he doesn't give up the top.
And they're getting racy, and Heim's not going away. Don't count him out in third with 11 to go in the stage.
Yeah, he was pretty fast. Obviously, he took the lead there right before we went to yellow, but not as fast as Eric was. Eric was just screaming fast.
Yeah, Eric just shipped it down into turn 1 and slid up a little bit, just enough to clear him right there. I tell you, that 20, we said it a few laps ago. It's a rocket ship right now.
Almirola leads, teammates for 4th. Herbst and Custer going back and forth.
Herbst is going to clear him on the bottom. I saw Cole Custer just wiggle a little bit with the back there on exit, Joey. That tells me he's just starting to lose a little bit more rear grip here at the end of this run.
I think they're all wiggling at this point. 66 laps on their tires. I mean, that is a long, long time.
Ten to go in the stage, now 9 as they cross the start-finish line.
We had one car in that last pit cycle who put tires on, Brendan Poole, and he's all the way up to 8th. And the way he's going right now with 9 laps to go, that's not going to be where he ends. He's going to keep passing cars. He is so much faster than everybody right now. We're talking over a half a second a lap right now.
He had a really good car anyway. Then you add the tires to the equation, and that's why he's putting up the lap times he is right now.
And the play there is just to try to get stage points. It's going to cost them later, but right now it's like, man, if I could just get some stage points and make it worth it, then that's your play. And there you see right there in that blue and white car right behind this group. Time's running out, though. Only 8 laps to go.
What I'm looking at is he's 3.5 seconds back with 8 laps to go, and he's a half a second faster lap. So using my math, that means if he can get past these cars really fast, he's got a chance even to win this stage. He's got to really get by these cars fast.
Coming off his best finish of the year last week at COTA. Top 15 for Brennan Poole, and he's going after the reigning champ Cole Custer for 7th. He's got it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch him try to get there. I don't know if he's going to get there in time because, you know, anytime these cars start racing like that in front of him.
He didn't need that. Yeah, he didn't need him to be side by side in front of him.
It's going to cost them lap time. We call that traffic friction. I don't know if that's a technical term or not, but meaning that you can't run as fast as you would if you had just clean racetrack in front of you because he's got to get through all these cars.
Almirola starting to pull away. He's got a 1 second advantage over Justin Allgaier. Corey Heim almost a second and a half back in third. 5 to go, stage 1.
Nobody's having more fun than Brennan Poole right now.
Oh, he's having a blast, but he's not going to get there in time, I don't believe.
Into the top 5 for Poole. And you see the difference in speed. 108 last time around compared to a 107 for our leader Almirola on those older tires.
Some more side-by-side racing. Riley Herbst trying to get by Corey Heim right now.
Tremendous run late in the stage for Riley Herbst.
Corey Heim just barely to the outside of Allgaier.
And that's what we talked about, that defensive play that Allgaier was running before. He opened up the outside there. Corey Heim take advantage.
Oh, look who's coming now. Brennan Poole. He's going to get them both right here, guys.
2 for 1. Poole to the outside. Gets Herbst and Allgaier. He is now third.
Now that makes up for where he was being held up before. He gets a gift right there where he's able to get 2 of them without really costing him much speed.
It looks like he might be able to get the second. I'm not sure he can get to this stage win with 2.5 laps to go.
Took the tires. He's going to pass like 30 cars since the restart. A little bump, a little run. Brennan Poole up to second now. 2 to go, stage 1.
2.5 and 2 laps. That's going to be a lot for him to get, but I'm gonna bite my tongue here because he might be able to do it.
I don't think so, but maybe.
Plus 29 since the restart for Brennan Poole. Good race for 4th. Teammates, they had a couple of moments last week at COTA. Mayer and Allgaier.
We've seen plenty of times at these junior motorsports cars where the teammates have a lot of words for each other. And a little bit of contact, too.
Final lap of the stage. Eric Almirola going to finish it off in front of Brennan Poole. Really good run for the 44. He'll get second. The veteran going to get his 2nd career stage win in the Xfinity Series. Eric Almirola takes the first 75-lap stint of the race. And they're racing for points. Final spot in the top 10. Sammy Smith going at it with Parker Kligerman. Best stage finish for Brennan Poole in his career. And give a call to Bubba Pollard coming from the back. He ran it inside the top 15 at the end of stage 1. Eric Almirola in charge at Richmond. We had a whole lot going on to end stage one. Almirola wins. The great rally for Brennan Poole. Heim had a nice finish. What about his truck teammate Taylor Gray, who didn't qualify great, making his debut? He gets it into the top 10. Now pit stops, Regan.
Adam Eric Almirola in the 20 car, very quick that first run of the race. Still not perfect with the car, though. Needs an adjustment, a little bit tight, rolling the center. Wants help with that. The 26 of Corey Heim. He's got a car that's very connected right now, all the way around the corner. He's just too tight overall and needs a little adjustment. Josh?
For the one of Sam Mayer, he's a little free on entry, a little free on exit, but said keep the adjustments minimal. And then for the 98 of Riley Herbst, happy with the car, frustrated with the way the guys were racing around him. Said give me 4 tires and good track position, guys.
Race off pit road is big. You want to have control of this race. Eric Almirola comes in the leader. He leaves the leader. Justin Allgaier up to second in front of Riley Herbst. +2, +3 there. +3 for Chandler Smith. And Austin Hill, who worked his way to the top 10 into the stage, goes +8. So actually just outside the top 10, but a great pit stop gets him up to 5th off pit road.
Let's try Brennan Poole here and talk to him about his strategy. Brennan Poole, Joey Logano up here in the Fox booth. You got me? I'm going to try one more time. Brennan Poole, Joey Logano in the Fox booth. You got us? That's a hard no, I believe. Well, we were wanting to see what his strategy on what they were thinking and how they're going to play it forward.
I just wanted to hear how much fun he was having. I think maybe he's having so much fun the radio's not working.
I just wonder if he couldn't hear you or just didn't want to talk to you. Problems on pit road for a couple of our front runners. Cole Custer having a hard time getting out of his stall, and Corey Heim with some problems as well. Stage 2 coming up. The capital of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Richmond. Awesome downtown. Plenty to do, and a couple of weekends a year, home to NASCAR. There's your sign, Brad. Virginia is for lovers.
There's a lot of drivers out here are loving these new tires. I tell you that.
Absolutely.
Bubba Pollard enormous challenge today, making his debut, limited practice time, but man, has he done a nice job in the first stage plus.
Fun to watch. Still need a little bit of that, tighten up the center turn a little bit, drive off. I'm pretty balanced, ain't bad.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. It's so hard for somebody to jump into any of the NASCAR ranks at this point with the limited amount of practice, and you expect to just figure out how to drive this car that you've never driven before and go out there and win right off the bat. It's not fair to even think that can happen, but Bubba's doing a great job to start here.
Ryan Sieg, free pass with his caution. He's back on the lead lap. Big jump on the restart at stage 2 for Eric Almirola. Riley Herbst coming through to second.
Oh, Eric Almirola switched up the tactics a little bit there, Joey. Went late in the box and kind of messed up Justin Allgaier a little bit. He's going to lose a lot of ground.
Yeah, Justin was trying to time it on him. He said, no, I don't think so, bud. What a big restart for Eric Almirola. And unfortunately, Allgaier just timing it wrong. He's going to lose 4 to 5 spots.
Eric's teammate Chandler Smith taking advantage. Drives through the middle to third.
Oh, a little contact. Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier. Middle turn 1 here.
I don't know what the average running position is today for Austin Hill. Probably outside the top 10, but I'll tell you, he has done what he always does, find his way to the front. Always ends the day in his best running position of the afternoon. Got to report the restart is under review. You guys see anything here?
Here's a restart. They come into the zone. The 7 kind of wants to go, and then Eric says, no, not yet.
It's always hard to tell, Joey, from this view if the 20 got on the brakes or just didn't go while the 7 was trying to time it. And I think that's what NASCAR is probably reviewing here.
I don't see anything that the 20 did there. You know, it looks like the 20 brake checks the field. It's only because everyone else went but him. He just stayed the same speed.
And he has the right to do that. He is the control car in the restart area. He gets to pick where to go.
Let's listen to Eric Almirola radio. We got a report now that the restart is good. Here's what they're saying on the 20.
That was impressive. Interesting, for sure. That's what he gets for trying to roll me. I like it.
We saw the same thing, Eric.
Eric's been around this sport for a long time to be in a lot of different scenarios. He saw what was happening as they went into the restart zone. He said, I don't think so, buddy.
But in fairness to Justin, he did get the lead the last 2 restarts, doing a good roll on that. And finally somebody kind of checked him.
Yes, and that's experience. That's a different level of what you see in the Cup Series versus the Xfinity Series a lot of times is that experience. And, you know, when somebody does that to you a few times, you realize how to combat that and how to beat that. And Eric's been doing it long enough to know when it's happening and know how to answer it.
13th right now as we go along with Corey Heim. It's our Toyota onboard camera. They had a problem with the jack. We saw a bit of a delay on their pit stop going to break, but it was a jack issue that pushed him outside the top 10, 12th as he races Brennan Poole for position. And give a call to Kyle Weatherman right in front of him in that 91. Driving for Mario Goslin. Always seems to pop up at some point in the weekend doing something we didn't expect, and here he is knocking on the door of the top 10.
Yeah, Kyle Weatherman's just one of those guys that's really a hustler. He grinds. He finds ways to get opportunities and make the most of them. He's doing that here today for sure, Adam.
Ford Performance onboard camera, one of our rookies, Haley Deegan.
Trying to get to the outside here of the 28 car. Kyle Sieg.
Sheldon Creed back there. They said that they had a tire issue on that first run, but it's been a subpar day really for them. Both practice, qualifying, and here in the race just can't seem to find what they need.
Yeah, we got a report.
29th.
Yeah, we got a report from pit road. I think Regan might have a little more detail.
Yeah, Brad, the right front tire on Sheldon Creed was showing cords on the very inside edge of that tire. That's basically the way the tire leans into the corner was the area that was damaged. But he complained from the start of the race about an extremely tight race car. I got to imagine that had a part in it.
Yeah, you start leaning on one tire too hard here at Richmond, you're going to start paying the price. And, you know, if you take off with your balance being really tight and you grind it off, there ain't nothing left by the end.
Little contact here off of turn 2, Haley Deegan and Sheldon Creed. It's like we might have found a rock in our camera here on the roof. These guys are battling hard. They're starting to lose the handling again. 20 laps into the stage. The first few laps felt really good, and now every lap from here on out, cars are getting just a little bit freer. And this is the battle I've been watching. AJ Allmendinger, Bubba Pollard, they've been racing side by side, trading a little pain as we got to spin.
Caution is out. It's our 4th of the day. 3rd for a problem on track, making his debut, Logan Bearden.
Looks like the car's clean there.
See if we can tell what happened.
We trying to see where he's at.
Oh, there he is.
Going into the corner.
Got a little bit hard on the bottom of the racetrack here, Joey, it looks like, and around she went.
Really easy to do in the turn 3. You brought it up earlier, Brad. There's not much banking turning into the corner, and it's easy to start getting offline, and then you got a car to your outside, and there's not much space, and you're taking air off the side of your car, so you're losing that side force. And as a rookie, we just talked about how hard it is just to learn how to drive one of these Xfinity cars with not much practice. Well, now they're learning how to race as well, and mistakes like that will happen. Good thing is no damage to the car.
He gets to keep going.
Yep.
Patrick Emmerling having an issue as well. 22 laps down in stage 2. Almirola, Herbst, Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier, Austin Hill, the top 5. You're watching the NASCAR Xfinity Series ToyotaCare 250 from Richmond, a Toyota out front in Eric Almirola. And back in 5th is Austin Hill, comes in the championship leader, has won twice this year, and is on a heater. I mean, 5 consecutive top 5 finishes to begin the season, an average finish of 2.4.
Incredible what Austin Hill has been pulling off here.
Austin Cindric started 2021 with 5 straight top 5 finishes. Kyle Busch did it in 2014. In fact, when Kyle did that, even though he was a Cup regular, his average finish was 2.2. That's the best through 5 races, a 2.2 average, right? But when it comes to a series regular, no one's outdone what Austin Hill has done this year, averaging 2.4. Josh?
For Austin Hill going into the race, the car wasn't exactly where he needed it. They've been working on it. The biggest complaint has been he needs drive off. But after that last stop, now he's complaining about being on the splitter a little bit. So they're going to try and help him out the next time he comes down with some air pressure.
Look at this guy. He's ready to see some good racing. I hope tomorrow's good. I think tomorrow will be good too.
All right, back in the restart zone. We'll see what Eric Almirola does right here.
You see Riley Herbst spun the tires a little bit. Justin Allgaier squeezing it down the center.
Allgaier said,
oh, wow.
That's Parker Kligerman, yeah, on the 48.
And
big contact
Custer
into the outside
right there
wall.
with him. Didn't hit the wall, but he and Cole Custer definitely drifted up together.
Yeah, we talked about this too. Refiring on older tires, if you don't get them cleaned off, sometimes you just go in there and they slide and it feels like you have a flat tire until they get cleaned off, and that might have been the case there.
Yeah, we'll see if we can tell what happened.
Here's a replay. You know,
4 wide into 1.
Looks like the 00 got tagged or a little bit loose underneath him and wiggled up into the left front of the 48, and not much Parker could have done there. I see his play was to try to pass a bunch of cars up there, just ran out of space.
Taylor Gray in the 19 was right in the middle of that as well.
Sheldon Creed, whatever adjustments they made on that stop, he has been really moving forward. Here we see him battling for the 18th position, 18th, 19th position.
Yeah, he had, just a minute ago, we updated his progress. He was outside the top 25, and Creed is right back in the mix. 3 wide for position here.
Parker Kligerman trying to roll this top side of everybody, trying to get that track position back.
And how about Kyle Weatherman making a pass on our pole sitter, Parker Retzlaff, for 9th? Oh, gets a little loose down there in 1 and 2. He's going to slide up the hill.
Retzlaff back in the top 10 now as he jumps in front of that 91. Retzlaff started on the pole, led 27 laps early, drifted, was outside the top 10, but trying to regain his form, being scored 9th. Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier for 2nd. Riley Herbst is right there with him.
Justin Allgaier is pushing pretty hard right now at this point of the run. You see him kind of slide in the rear of that car off of 4, making these passes.
Got to imagine
I don't know
Eric
how long it's
Almirola
going to last.
Imagine Eric Almirola is loving that, right? He's got the lead here. He's taking care of his car for this next 40-some laps.
Yeah, all Eric's doing is checking up in the mirror and he's saying, okay, I got about a half a second there. All right, they're racing each other hard. Okay, I just kind of pace it right here. Stay right where I'm at.
Yep. Wants to keep that half a second to a second gap, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Mentioned Sheldon.
Yeah,
wow.
Interesting. Some smoke coming out of, we were just talking about Sheldon Creed was recovering from not the best to start, but not what he wants to see right here.
You know, and he said it's probably, they just said it's probably the engine. It doesn't really look like there's any fenders rubbing, so it could be. Regan, you have an update here?
Well, Joe, you're exactly right. That's what he just told the team. They said there's no tire rubs, no anything like that. He said it smells like oil. They're afraid that engine's getting set to expire here on him.
Wow, that would be 2 on today if that happens, and what a surprise that would be.
We've only had 1 engine-related DNF in the last 5 races here, so 2 in the same day. It's like I was saying earlier, it's kind of unheard of here at Richmond.
Brandon Jones earlier, now Sheldon Creed.
Austin Hill battling to stay in the top 5. He wants to keep that top 5 streak still going there, Adam.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go, but he's done all he needs to in the first half of the race to put himself in position after starting 16th. Sam Mayer continues to be impressive as they race for the spot, and right behind them, Taylor Gray. Can't say enough good things about the driver from New Mexico. Just celebrated his 19th birthday, starting in the Xfinity Series for the first time, and just feeling it out and getting better as the afternoon goes along.
Yeah, running a good, smart race, and you got to give him a lot of credit for that. You know, when you make your first start in any series, it's a challenge, a lot to learn, and you know, you always hope that you have a strong and solid day, but easier said than done. He's doing everything he needs to do right here, I can tell you that.
It's always funny. I remember my first start, and you're like, what do you expect? I don't know. It's like, how do you know what to expect? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Let's figure out when I get there, I guess. It's hard to know what's going to happen in these things, especially when you have no experience on your side.
That sounds like a shot at one of us on the media side. So you're making your first career start. What do you expect today? And Joey says, I have no idea.
I don't know.
Well, to use a Larry Mack line, you don't know what you don't know when you're making that first start, right?
Yep. Which sometimes could be a good thing.
There's some terrific battles all around the track. Here, we still see Austin Hill fighting Sam Mayer. I think they might have been side by side now for the last 5 or 6 laps.
It's so frustrating, too.
Yes.
Either one of them, you're just like, just want to run my pace. And
I don't want to run harder. I'm going to burn the tires off it. Will you just slow down and let me go?
Doesn't really ever work like that.
No, it doesn't. That's part of what makes it so much fun to watch. Austin Hill slide up a little bit into turn 1. You can tell either got a little too hard or he's just a little bit too free. We heard him talking about being a little bit free earlier on our feedback from his radio.
Austin Hill, the veteran at RCR. Back behind him, the rookie, Jesse Love.
Just running right at the edge of the top 10 here. Having a quiet, smooth day so far.
Of course, the team car to the 21. And Danny Stockman is the crew chief for that 2 team. And Danny's a great veteran. He's been with so many good ones over the years, various levels of experience. And he told me last week at COTA he's so impressed with what Love brings to the table and spoke to how hard he works away from the racetrack. And when I was in their hauler prior to the race today, Jesse was down there studying the data. He really is not afraid to roll his sleeves up and go to work, and that's why you see the results he's getting. Back-to-back top 10s, finishing in front of where he runs in the race. 2nd at Phoenix, 6th last week at COTA, and in the top 10 again here today.
And that's what it takes to be a good race car driver these days. You know, everybody at this level and on forward from here is really, really, really good. And they have a ton of talent. Going fast is just part of the equation. Racing and understanding the little details is the rest of it that makes the difference for a driver and a team.
Chandler Smith's been the fastest car on the track the last probably 3 or 4 laps. He caught Justin Allgaier trying to make a pass here. It's not quite there, but I'm liking what I'm seeing out of him.
Well, we saw earlier where Justin Allgaier passed him on the top, and we said, boy, he's really using his stuff up. Is Justin Allgaier starting to pay the price for running too hard early in the run?
Oh, wow. Chandler really drove it in hard there.
Jumps in front of him, does Chandler Smith. Out in front of Justin Allgaier for 2nd now. So it's Joe Gibbs Racing 1-2. Taylor Gray finds himself in the top 10, so their Toyotas are delivering. We talk teammates, and here they are from Colleague, all bunched together. Get the team photo. 16 is Allmendinger, 97 Van Gisbergen, Josh Williams in the 11. They're racing for 14th.
I'm not sure they'd want the team photo in 14th.
Well,
right
hey, you know what? It's a good photo op.
We've taken worse ones. Yeah, I'll give you that, Adam. But no, you could tell that these 3 cars are very equally prepared based on how they're running.
Yeah, Bubba Pollard right there behind them. And Parker Kligerman, who's trying to recover from that restart where he got in the wall. Looks, good, lucky for him. It doesn't seem like there must have been much things bent. He hit the wall so hard I thought it would have bent something, but looks like he's all right.
It's going to show Bubba Pollard.
Sheldon Creed had brought his car down pit road. NASCAR had posted him for the smoke, and so the engine issues continued for him while his teammates are out in front of the field. Eric Almirola has been outstanding today, leading 55 laps. Here are our Toyota top performers. Chandler Smith, we mentioned, got around Allgaier for 2nd. Taylor Gray in the top 10, and Corey Heim, who was impressive early, had the issues on the pit stop, but he has stayed in touch with the top 10, currently 11th. 29 laps to go in our 2nd stage. Almirola, Chandler Smith, Allgaier, Herbst, Hill, the top 5. We're going side by side. It's the Xfinity Series live on FS1. Closing on 20 laps to go, stage 2 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Richmond. Eric Almirola has been the dominator, leading 62 of our 127 laps. Parker Retzloff, good early, outside the top 10 as you see our lap leaders. Let's go back to when Eric Almirola made his debut. And I will tell you that, I mean, there might be a little gray there, and Eric referenced this earlier today in one of our interviews, but he doesn't look much different than he did 18 years ago.
No,
wow.
I don't know what he's eating or taking, but I would like to.
We can't say the same, Brad.
Yeah, no, I look a little different.
I can't either.
No.
Some great genes.
Huh.
I said this earlier, better gray than gone. And Eric still has all his hair, and, well, I don't, so.
Well, he's looking pretty good. Apparently in those years that have passed, he's really figured this racing thing out, Joey. Looks really fast right now.
Sam Mayer up to 4th, making a late ride in stage 2. Regan?
Adam, unfortunately, Sheldon Creed out of the race earlier. We thought possibly an engine issue initially, but what ultimately put you out of the race, Sheldon?
I guess the right rear brake was dragging. I don't know, frustrated. It's 3 weeks in a row that we've had car problems, and our teammates are out there leading the race. Pretty much all 3 weekends we have trouble, so frustrating. We have so much potential on this 18 team, and yeah, to not be able to run all the laps, it's just frustrating.
Thanks, Sheldon.
Yeah, mechanical DNFs are not your friend as a race car driver, and you can obviously hear the frustration in Sheldon's voice, and always hurts a little bit more when you have a mechanical DNF and your teammates are leading the race. That's certainly not ideal.
Yeah, it's you can hear the frustration. I mean, that's the raw emotion. You think about, he just got out of the race car from grinding it out there, and he's upset. And then someone sticks a microphone in his face. I mean, it's part of the job. I get it, but it's also like, gosh, I can't even get my emotions under control yet, as frustrated as it is. Because, I mean, this is their career. This is their job. This is their life out there. And it's all performance-based. It's how you do and what your results are at the end of this thing. And it can eat you up quick.
Look at the lap times for Sam Mayer, who's really turned it up with 17 to go in the stage. Just went around Allgaier. He's up to 3rd. Man, you talk about taking care of your car on the long haul. He has done that, passing a lot of cars here late in the going in this second stint of the race.
Yeah, he's definitely pretty strong. There's a couple tenths or so faster than Almirola the last lap.
We talk about the 20-year-old. Let's give some love to the 19-year-old. Taylor Gray, first ever start, has worked his way into the top 5 driving the 19.
Yeah, he's done a great job in the truck series. You've seen constant improvement out of Taylor. Week after week, he's more and more in contention of winning races consistently. And, you see he's able to jump into a brand new kind of car for him, the Xfinity Series car, and be able to pick up on it pretty quickly here at Richmond.
Speaks to the talent at Tricon Garage in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. When you look at what Corey Heim has done today, and the same for Taylor Gray. Mentioned Corey Heim won last week at COTA. Taylor Gray was second to him, so we know the talent is there.
Josh Williams is somebody I want to point out. He has been passing cars. Started 26th, not where he wanted to start, but he has drove up to 12th, and he's running some really quick lap times right now, guys. I think he might be a top 5, top 10 in speed. He's run down Cole Custer here in front of him and Jesse Love to hopefully break into the top 10.
And he's needed a solid run. He's had a rough start to the season, and he's in a colleague car. He's got definitely a more capable car than he's had in the past, and he wants to show the talent that he's got. And today seems like a good example of that.
A new dad. We talked about it last week at COTA. Missed practice and qualifying on Friday in Austin, Texas, because his wife Trasia was delivering they had their first baby on Friday, and he missed the practice qualifying session, came out on Saturday. Etta Lynn is the young baby at home, so we offer our congratulations once again.
Well, the 2 and the 00 are crossing each other over in front of him, racing really hard, giving him opportunity to get up there and pounce as well.
Taylor Gray making a pass on Justin Allgaier up ahead of these guys. We were just bragging them up. We got to keep going. It sounds like our cheers are working, but this is remarkable for him, and remarkable action across the racetrack. Just some really good battles here, guys.
Yeah, I always said Richmond is the racetrack. If you're a purist, if you love old school pure racing, Richmond is that racetrack for you, where you have to manage your tires, a strategy that is in there for the drivers, but also the crew chiefs and how they call this race. Running too hard, paying that penalty. It just seems like it's one of those races that the smart guy wins a lot of times, and it's not quite the hammer track like you see a lot of these repays where you just got to go as hard as you can every single lap. You can't do that here. And I think if you're an old school race fan, this is the type of racing you would love.
On board here with Haley Deegan.
If you go back up to the top 5 with 9 to go on the stage, I want to highlight the ages of these drivers. Eric Almirola is leading. He's 40 years old. But if you look behind him, Chandler Smith is 21. Sam Mayer is 20. Taylor Gray is 19. And then another veteran in Justin Allgaier, who's 37.
That's quite a discrepancy.
It is.
All over the place. No one really in the middle.
Yeah, and Eric's doing a phenomenal job. He's all the way up to a 3.5-second lead. And we talked about that at the start of this run, how we had those cars side by side, Justin Allgaier, Chandler Smith. And those guys are now starting to pay for it, right? Sam Mayer passing Chandler Smith. The whole time, Eric Almirola was just taking care of his car, Joey.
Right now, this third stage can get interesting because now you have Sam Mayer, who just crawled up into the second place, shows he has a really good long-run car. Might put a little bit more pressure on Eric in the third stage.
And here's what I would say about Sam Mayer. We talk about the troubles that they faced early in the year with those DNFs, getting involved in accidents, came in behind the 8 ball on points. But he finished 5th in stage 1, gets stage points. Here he is running 2nd in stage 2, an opportunity to get 9 more stage points. That is how you climb the ladder in the standings when you've had a problem, is delivering in the stages, and he's getting it done here today. His teammate Justin Allgaier back there in 5th, Regan.
On Adam, he's fading just a little bit. They had problems with the drive off the corner, spinning the rear tires on the initial runs of the race. They thought they had made that better. As an early report this run was that it was better. He was just too tight across the middle. Well, it has eared its ugly head again. He is spinning the tires all the way down the straightaway. Said the left rear feels like it's completely gone. Brad and Joey, when that left rear's gone here, it's not fun.
He's done, but he was loose to start the run, yes, and he was running it hard as well.
Yep.
And like we said, eventually you're going to have to pay the piper on this one, and he's definitely doing that towards the end of this run. Luckily for Justin, there's only 4 laps to go in this thing.
Oh, he's counting them down too. He says, please end this.
Remember when Logan Bearden had a spin making his debut? Look at the 14. He is just outside the top 10 and racing around some of the best in the business in the Xfinity Series. Great job for this young driver.
Now, I don't know, but did he put tires on when he spun out?
There you go.
I would assume that was probably why. Yes, he did. On lap 98, he put tires on. So, he's got 20 laps or so newer tires than the cars he's racing, so he's capitalizing on that.
Let him have his fun, Joey. Let him have that fun. Still doing a good job.
I was explaining how he drove through the whole field.
Good for you.
Still good.
2 to go, stage 2 for Eric Almirola.
He's looking pretty unstoppable right now, guys. Running really smart, putting himself in all the right positions. Good battle here for 6th as well. Allgaier, Corey Heim, who's kind of rallied a little bit. We saw him fall back in that pit sequence just outside the top 10, and now here he is trying to make his way back in the top 5.
He's looking to get a couple more points right here in the final lap of the stage for Corey Heim, trying to get Justin Allgaier. You see, Justin just can't throttle up on the exit. You see, he made all his gains on the exit there.
Eric Almirola, 1 stage win in Xfinity competition coming into today, but he's gonna get the sweep, and this will be the 3rd time in 2024 a driver has swept both stages. None of those drivers have gone on to win the race. And back behind him, Mayer is 2nd. Chandler Smith, Taylor Gray, Corey Heim, the top 5. And Bearden able to get by Williams for the final spot in the top 10 to end stage 2. 150 laps in the books here at Richmond. It's been the Eric Almirola show so far. When we had the promo last week that said Logano and Keselowski would be in the booth here at Richmond, I said the dynamic duo is back. Bradley and Joseph.
My dancing skills have not improved, for those that might be wondering.
Evidently, in this shot, your razor had broken.
Yes.
Tomorrow on Fox, the NASCAR Cup Series, including Bradley and Joseph here in Richmond, a rare Easter Sunday night race. The pre-race kicks things off 6 Eastern, then engines fire at 7. It's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. You didn't look like Blaney.
No,
being non-shaven there, but
that was not that cool.
That was before Mr. Penske gave him a waiver. I don't know. I didn't get that waiver.
Did you negotiate for
did
that?
Not. That must be in his contract. I'm not sure, but yeah, well, I got a clean shave today, and I'm enjoying the race up here, guys. I always love being here in the booth. I know, Joey, you're up here all the time.
I enjoy coming up here and talking about races, and I don't know what else to do on a Saturday afternoon to do this at this point. So I've enjoyed it, and the racing here at Richmond is about as fun as it gets. As the pits are open, everybody will come down and get 4 Goodyear tires and have 1 set left after this.
Eric Almirola is looking to maintain the lead, Regan.
That's absolutely what he's looking to do right now, Brad. As far as the car, it is good for him right now. The entry and exit went away just a little bit more than he wanted to. That run getting a little bit free at the end. And the 81 of Chandler Smith, his biggest struggle is rear grip. The front end is numb also, but he needs some help with the rear grip. Josh?
How about this debut for the 19 of Taylor Gray? 4th in stage number 2. We said that car fired off good, got a little loose towards the end of that run. And then for the 1 of Sam Mayer, said that car was solid overall. Started to lose the tires towards the end. He said, if you make any adjustments, just a little bit tighter for me.
Mentioned maintaining position. Race off pit road. Once again, the 20 team delivers. Contact coming out of the pits there. Taylor Gray, Sam Mayer, +1 for Gray, +3 for Austin Hill. My math says on the day, the 21 has gone +11 in their 2 pit stops. Wow. Chandler Smith lost the couple. Here's what we were talking about. Boom.
Ooh, that's a big hit.
final stage in the ToyotaCare 250 when we return. NASCAR Xfinity Series making their 78th appearance at Richmond Raceway. First short track race of 2024. Doing so on Easter weekend. Look at our stage point breakdown. Mention Eric Almirola gets the sweep, trying to become the first driver this year to sweep the stages and pull into victory lane. Sam Mayer, great afternoon. Chandler Smith, Justin Allgaier also scoring a bunch of points. Let's go back to the exit of pit road after stops and watch Taylor Gray and Sam Mayer get connected.
Yeah, big contact here. And look at all the damage on Mayer.
Yeah, it's a fair amount of damage there. It looks like he's behind the tire, so it should be okay, I hope.
Almirola, Mayer, front row for the restart. Final stage at Richmond.
Mayer with a solid launch.
Oh, the fender
right
off the bat. Ooh. And that's from that damage on pit road.
Chandler Smith coming through to third.
Restarts under review. It looked like maybe Chandler Smith went just a little bit early on the outside. To see what NASCAR thinks here.
That's a lot of rubbing on the left front of Sam Mayer. I mean, the start of his season's been so tough for him. He's showed speed, and he's in position to win the race right now, or to possibly win the race. And I don't know if that one's going to hold there, Bradley.
Oof. I'm glad we don't have to decide. Here, we're going to watch the restart real quick. What I want to pay attention to is this car right here. Chandler Smith. Did he go a little bit early?
Sam Mayer in that outside lane.
Sam Mayer, I'm sorry.
Restart,
that's
all
too
good.
Close to call for me. So NASCAR's going to give it all clear as well.
Mayer dodges one bullet, no penalty on the restart. Now, what happens with that damage in the tire? We'll keep an eye on it.
It almost looks like it might be getting a little bit better.
Oh, it's
no,
it's flat.
It's flat.
Flat.
Oh, he's going to have to limp around here for a lap. He just missed pit road. As at the worst place that tire could have gone flat. Luckily, he didn't hit the wall, but he's got to get all the way around here.
Ooh. Sam Mayer having a great day. Top 5 stage 1. Top 5 stage 2, scored a bunch of stage points, exactly what he needed, but now problems, and the race for the lead is on. Teammates going at it. Chandler Smith inside of Eric Almirola, the 81 out front at Richmond.
There is action everywhere on this racetrack as Sam Mayer gets to pit road. You have to wonder, this run here, Joey, is one of the longest runs of the race. Is Eric Almirola really saving his tires? They've only got one set left, right?
I would think so. They got one set of tires left. There is a couple ways to play this. You could split this run in half and pit under green. That's going to be the fastest if it runs green the whole way. And if you do that, it's actually not that long of a run. But if the caution comes out, you're in trouble.
Race is over, yep.
You'd be out of tires.
Put left side tires on Sam Mayer's car. Really costly. He's going to lose at least 2 laps, maybe even 3 laps here.
Yeah, it's going to take him out of contention. Such a bummer for him. Nothing he could have done. He's rolling down pit road, and the 19 just drives right into his door. Nothing he can do there. And unfortunately, that's going to cost us a top 30 finish probably.
Haley Deegan back in the pack.
Some good action shots here. Corey Heim again had drove up to the top 5. Lost some spots here in the restart and on pit road, trying to recover back from that. He's got one of the fastest cars. And we saw him really take off at the end of that run. So he's hoping this thing goes, 90 some laps straight here, Joey.
Yeah.
And Sam Mayer back on track, being scored 32nd, 2 laps down.
Yeah, and you see he's got a little bit newer tires. That's the difference. We just went back green not too long ago.
I was going to say, they haven't been out there that long, and already you see the difference.
That's how much. I mean, 8-10 laps on tires is a really big deal.
And he doesn't even have
Richmond.
4 new tires. I think they only took lefts.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, it's even crazier.
Does look like they were able to fix it to where it's not smoking anymore. Here's Corey Heim passing the 19, Taylor Gray. You see all the rubber is off the right side tire on Taylor Gray's car. That had to do some damage to that. Maybe just cosmetic, but hopefully just cosmetic and not the suspension, but hard to tell. That was big contact.
But he too has gone in the wrong direction since the restart. Talking about Taylor Gray. Heim trying to complete the pass. Parker Kligerman, last car inside the top 10. Just in front of him, the rookie Jesse Love.
Yeah, Taylor Gray -9 since the restart in that contact we saw.
Yeah, Sam Mayer just to touch on him one more time. He's back to 32nd, 2 laps down. After that incident, he was 3 down. He got 1 lap back there when he passed Chandler Smith.
Riley Herbst at one time was inside the top 5. He's now 7th and has company from our pole setter Parker Retzloff. If you're Parker and you go out and get your first career pole, you'd love to finish the deal and win. But the bottom line is a top 5 is a great day for them. A top 10 is exactly where they need to be when you look at where they are and the balance of their program. And he's taken care of the car. And when he needed to give, he has. And now here we are, 79 to go, and he's in position to capitalize on what would be his 3rd top 10 finish of the year. Let's take you side by side. 79 remaining at Richmond. Chandler Smith in front of his teammate Eric Almirola. Allgaier, Hill, Custer complete the top 5. You saw it while we were side by side, but we're going to have to go full with this. 6th caution of the day for Joey Gase. And he's obviously frustrated with fellow competitor Dawson Cram. First, here's what happened.
Oh, yep.
He gets kind of tagged down into turn 1 and hard into the outside wall. Real hard hit for Joey Gase.
That's part 1 of the highlight.
So he's going to take a moment to really express his frustration here. First, he's going to finish tearing the rear bumper cover off his car and then wait for Dawson Cram. And his timing and throw was pretty impeccable here.
Yeah, he did a good job at this right here. Boom, right in the windshield.
I think I would have left my driver gloves on. OSHA would not have approved pulling that bumper cover off without the gloves.
You know,
that part or the playing in the traffic part?
Yes, yes.
I was going to say, OSHA has a problem with no gloves. NASCAR has a problem with walking down near traffic, and I'm sure he'll get a phone call and maybe some other items out of it.
I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I'm saying I understand.
I understand, and you know what? For all those people who say we're not athletes, boom, right there. We can throw.
It's a pretty impressive throw. You know, a lot of anger, a lot of frustration. I want to hear Dawson Cram's radio on this.
What happened with the 35 there, Dawson?
Kind of crossed my nose on exit. I just went to carry tires down the front stretch. I let him go at the start-finish line, and he started spinning. Embarrassing. I only pushed him for like 2 seconds.
Well, it was 2 seconds too many.
I mean, I wish we had a little better angle of exactly how that all happened, but got him a little too much.
Yep, I think there's some splaining to do there. Beyond that, we're in a critical juncture of this race, guys. They have 1 set of tires left in the pits. Pits are going to open here pretty soon. And I am so glad right now that I am not a crew chief in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, because if you pit here and another yellow comes out, this race is over if somebody else puts tires on when you don't have any left.
Yeah, you got to think this is a split call. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer at this point. You don't know how it's going to play out. If you run 50 laps from here and there's a caution with 20 or so laps to go and you got no tires left, you're not going to win.
But you got these scuffs, right? We're seeing in the pylon. It's been 23 laps since they pitted. A few of those under caution. So you take these off, you save them in case you get the late caution, and then you run on stickers. I'm just throwing it out.
We're all, you should see our faces right now.
I'm not suggesting that's the best policy. I'm just presenting the option.
Pits are still close. We've got another lap or two to figure it out, which these crew chiefs are really biting their nails right now. Well, this is a great time for us to compare.
Yeah. Let's do the bumper cover Olympics, right?
Oh, that's the deck lid.
Oh, yeah.
But still counts.
His own car.
Right. Yeah. Deck lid, bumper cover, parts and pieces from the rear of the car.
A lot heavier, though. It's a lot heavier piece, so you got to put that in consideration.
But Joey Gase had to run down, find the car, throw it, and hit it.
Hard. Very technical.
If we're saying who did it better, it's a close one, but I'm going to take Joey.
Joey Gase, definitely. The difficulty level of what he just accomplished was pretty tough.
It was gutsy.
At least he wore his helmet, though. I do like that. Smart.
The big difference here is going to be, I don't think NASCAR was upset at Justin Allgaier. I think they might get upset at Joey Gase.
Now they're returning it right here. Thank you.
Sign it, auction it for charity.
I think that's getting returned to the NASCAR hauler, which is usually not a good sign when you're wondering if you're going to get in trouble or not if it makes its way to the principal's office.
Andy Street, you saw there on the pit box, crew chief for Austin Hill, running 4th.
Pits are open. Here we go. Moment of truth here. Big decision to be made.
Here they come. Justin Allgaier first to stay out.
It splits.
Mixed bag. Allgaier stayed out. So did Cole Custer. Here they are, Regan.
Eric Almirola, when the caution came out, said he thought it was too early. Obviously, he got overruled. Needs a little bit of adjustment for grip right here. And the 81 of Chandler Smith, they changed their plan. Originally, it was plan 2, which must have been to stay out. They went to plan 4, which was to go ahead and pit. Josh.
And for the 21 of Austin Hill, they elected to come in. Austin was complaining that he started sliding those fronts way too much and still tight across the middle. So the decision to come in and pit now and get those tires.
We have some entertainment coming our way. Old tires versus new tires.
Oh, my goodness.
Teams rooting for a caution, others that would like to see it go green.
And this is where it becomes a lot of fun. When we talked about Richmond and being the purest of races, That's what this is all about right now. There's no telling how this is going to play out, but it's going to be fun to watch.
Two veterans out front that have combined to win here 3 times, Allgaier and Custer. 6th caution of the day. Joey Gase not happy and showing his frustration at Dawson Cam. Strategy could go a long way in deciding who wins the race here at Richmond. Under caution for the 6th time today. Here's what happened.
We're going to look here. We found a camera angle of the 4-car Dawson Cram hitting the back of Joey Gase pretty late down the back stretch, and that's what Joey's fired up about. That's going to get him loose, and he's not going to be able to save this thing before turn 1, Joey.
No, he was very sideways at that point. And yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for being mad about that.
Dawson Cram on the receiving end of it. Top 14 drivers stayed out. Front row, Allgaier, Custer.
And this is going to be a show right here, guys, with the top 14 on old tires, everybody behind them on new tires. Chandler Smith on the outside of 3. He's going to try to pass them all here as fast as he can, get the lead and run away.
And he will get there with that much newer tires. He's going to get there pretty quickly. And these guys up front, they're hoping it runs 30, 40 laps and the caution comes out.
Custer gets the lead outside lane.
Now, what you don't want right now, if you're one of the cars on new tires, you do not want to cause a yellow. You don't want a yellow, period, but you certainly don't want to cause it. So you got to be really careful working your way through this traffic.
Chandler Smith up to 9th. Regan.
Joey Gase checked and released from the infield care center. Joey, we saw the contact going down the front straightaway. Was there anything else that led to that contact prior?
I think him just not having his head screwed on right. You know, I gave the kid his first opportunity ever in Xfinity, and I know Johnny Davis is in the business of wrecking race cars, and we're definitely not. We're small teams and racing hard for the lucky dog, and apparently he just didn't know how to lift. So maybe his throttle stuck. I don't know.
Thanks, Joey.
Well, you can certainly understand the hard feelings there.
Absolutely.
What do tires mean? Chandler Smith has worked his way to 5th. Outside of Parker Retzloff.
And I keep saying this, if the caution comes out late, the roles will be reversed for Chandler Smith. As quickly as he's driving through the field, the 00, the 7, the 98, the 31, all these guys, when they put tires on, it's going to look the complete opposite. If they get the opportunity to do it, that's the big question right now.
And nobody knows what will happen here. This is really the race. The race right now is the 81 and the 20 car. There's no way these guys are not going to prevail against the 00 of Cole Custer, the 7 of Justin Allgaier. They're making passes so fast right here with new tires. But what you're watching here is the battle between the 81 and 20. And why that is they're on equal tires. And they're going to make these passes. The question will be after they make these passes, if there's no yellow, who's going to make the best run here?
Yeah, and that's why you see Chandler Smith. You got to get through this traffic as quickly as possible. Get yourself up front and run away from the 20, because if it does run green, that's the guy you're racing.
Top 4 that pitted, all in the top 10. I mentioned Smith, Almirola, Corey Heim is up there. Same for Jesse Love. On board with Heim now, as Smith goes after Allgaier for 2nd. No problem. Chandler Smith has led 17 laps today. Led 83 here a year ago. Got his first career victory. And he's going to be back on point as we see 59 to go. The fresher tires get him to the front. Smith around Custer. 81 is on the point one more time.
And we see right back there Eric Almirola. He's 3 cars behind him right now. He's got to pass those cars and still run them down. And Chandler Smith just passed the 20 right before that last caution. So he's got a fast race car.
Yep. How much tire did he use? We can't tell from in the booth, but that's the question. How much tire did he use making all these passes so quickly? There's still a lot of laps to go. 59 laps left.
Austin Hill in the 21. Another one of those drivers that elected to come down pit road has worked his way to the top 10. Same for Parker Kligerman. He made the stop. He's 11th right now.
Shane Van Gisbergen, he stayed out. He's one of those guys that is pulling for another caution to come here. Doesn't probably want it right now. They'd probably like for this yellow, if they were going to get it, they'd probably like it for it to come with 20, 30 laps to go.
Yeah, you get another 10 to 12 laps. I mean, at that point, you're going to be sitting pretty.
Eric Almirola's run down Cole Custer. And he's still in striking range, right, of Chandler Smith. He's going to end up being about a 2.5 back after this pass for 2nd place. He's going to be able to keep him honest.
The top 2 that pitted are now 1-2 on track after driving through those that stayed out.
And restarting back.
Outside the top 15?
Outside the top 15.
Yep, top 14 had stayed on track. Yeah, Jesse Love up to 6th. Corey Heim 7th. Other drivers that made pit stops.
Yeah, those guys had to pass 12 cars. 12 to 13 cars to get back to where they're at right now.
Taylor Gray playing that same strategy to come down pit road, making his first ever start. He's rallied back up to 11th. And you see Bubba Pollard on track behind him. He's had so much thrown at him today, making his first ever start. Great in practice, first driver out in qualifying. Such a difficult chore. He has to come from the back, but stayed on the lead lap, kept himself in the game, and a strategy play is going to put him in position for a top 10 here.
See Justin Allgaier and Cole Custer battling each other. They have the same tires, so that could be a battle for later in the race.
We've made a little change here on the board so you could get a better idea of where everybody's at on tires. Justin Allgaier is the first car on the oldest tires, and you can see all the way back to the top 20 where everybody's at on tires. And what you're looking for is the guys with the least amount of laps on their tires. They're the ones who are going to be running up to the field here through the course of this run.
See Jesse Love, one of those that made a pit stop, coming down 20 laps ago. He's able to get to the outside of Cole Custer here.
you see, I mean, for some of them, it's taken a long time to get this far, right? 20 laps or so to pass up there, and it's not like they're blowing their doors off right now either. I mean, they're quite a bit faster, don't get me wrong, but not like seconds faster. But Brad, you brought it up. This is a solid point you brought up, is that, you know, the last thing these guys that just put tires on is a caution. So they need to race each other very, very smart, which makes the likeliness of a caution coming out not very good anymore, right? Because they're going to be like, man, we can't wreck here because our race will be over. So they back it down a notch. You're not beating each other's doors off and all. It has the feeling right now that this thing could go long.
Yes. You know, there could be a lot of psychology classes on race car drivers. And we talk about this a lot.
And crew chiefs, right?
And crew chiefs. But what's really interesting is how the field all kind of gets on board with the strategy and changes the way they're racing when you see situations like this. We saw it a few weeks back in the Bristol Cup race when we were running out of tires, and the whole field just gets really smooth and slows down and takes care of their tires when they're almost out. Where before that, they ran as hard as they could. So you start to see the drivers adapt to the situation, almost like a school of fish, and they're all adapting at the same time and not getting themselves in trouble. It's really, really interesting to see.
Your analogies have been incredible today.
You didn't have that one on your card either, did you?
School of fish wasn't out there.
I had to go to my third bingo card to get all this stuff in.
But what you're seeing, like from watching this on camera and watching in the booth, you're seeing that the drivers give each other a little bit more room, Joey. You're seeing all these different things happen because they know they do not want to cause a yellow if they are the ones that have new tires. And to your point, that just changes the dynamics of the race.
Now, on the flip side of that, if you're one of those cars that stayed out, well, you're really wanting a caution.
Yes.
Might be the opposite.
Joe Gibbs Racing having a great day. They've won here at Richmond 11 times. Chandler Smith leading. Eric Almirola won both stages today. He's second. Good effort for Taylor Gray. Of course, Sheldon Creed had the problems. We talked to him earlier. And when you look at short tracks, I mean, not just here at Richmond, but across the board, Martinsville, Bristol, it really, in recent years, has been all about Junior Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing. They've won 7 of the last 9 here, those two teams, and 15 of the last 18 overall. And look at the laps led, 3,600 out of the 4,800 run. I mean, it's just complete domination for these two organizations. And they've done it again today when you look at the laps led for Almirola, Chandler Smith, and Justin Allgaier.
It does seem like one of those racetracks. Once you get your head wrapped around how they go fast around here, whether it's the driver or the team with the setup, it seems to last forever once you get it.
Corey Heim, not from Joe Gibbs Racing, but driving a Toyota, and he's been outstanding today. Gets his way around Jesse Love. He's now third.
The cars on the older tires, to your point, Joey, have hung on just a little bit better than they thought they would. They're almost all outside of the top 10 with the exception of Justin Allgaier.
Bubba Pollard into the top 10. Working over Riley Herbst for the 10th position or 9th position, and he gets it. The fresh faces getting it done today at Richmond. Taylor Gray, Bubba Pollard. Never raced Xfinity before this afternoon. 6th and 9th, both in the top 10. Logan Bearden ran his way into the top 10 on those fresher tires at the end of stage 2. He's now 26th. We'll go side by side with 41 laps remaining. Smith leads Almirola, Heim, Love, Hill the top 5. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series from Richmond. Just over 30 laps to go in the ToyotaCare 250. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series racing in Richmond, Virginia with Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano. I'm Adam Alexander, Josh Sims, Regan Smith on pit road. Chandler Smith in charge of the field. His advantage 1.6 seconds over his teammate Eric Almirola. Here's an interesting fact. Eric Almirola won both stages today. It's the third time it's happened this year. The previous 2 times, the driver that won the stages, his teammate went on to win the race. No. It's playing out again, is it not, with Chandler Smith leading the way?
Well, still a long ways to go. We don't know how hard Chandler ran. We don't know how hard Eric's running. Still, a long ways to go. A lot of traffic to work through.
And we could get a caution that allows some drivers to pit, and that would change everything.
Absolutely.
And right now is like prime time. If there's a caution for those guys that stayed out, this is it. Right now is where they want the caution. And it could happen as the leaders get to these lap cars or cars about to go down a lap. They run each other really hard, racing for lucky dogs. Those type of things could cause a caution.
Something to watch out for sure. But Chandler Smith, I mean, we talked about it at the start of the race. This has been a great track for him. He's having a terrific season. He's doing all the things he needs to do. This would, he's already got a win on the season, but this would be a statement. See, making his way through traffic right here. Eric Almirola 1.3 seconds back. He's kind of hovered around this 1.7, 1.3 range. You see he's made a little bit of time here in this lap traffic that Chandler Smith's in, but
Jeb Burton 1 lap down. He would love to get a caution, get the free pass. This is our Celsius onboard camera.
And Jeb's one of those guys on the older tires, right? So he last pitted at lap 155, where these guys pitted around lap 179. So they got about 24 lap fresher tires on the leaders than Jeb does.
Yeah, here I'm just throttle jockeying that thing on the exit, just pedaling her through there.
That's the challenge of driving one of these cars. And there you saw, Joey, to your point, they're lapping cars, the leaders are, and they're starting to slide around not just the leaders, but the lap cars. And this is when trouble can really happen.
Well, Jeb Burton wants the caution because he wants to get the free pass. His teammate Parker Retzloff wants the caution because he's one of those that didn't pit, has the fresher tires. He would love to come down and take advantage. Right now, the driver that started on the pole is 13th in the race.
Good battle here with Josh Williams.
And we've seen this story before, right, Adam, where that caution came out and everyone feels like it's too early and people end the race with a set of tires in the pits.
It's funny, I was down in the garage earlier today, and I surveyed everybody. I said, what do you think? 20, 25 laps into the final stage, you get the caution. Is that when you pit? And every crew chief I talked to locked up, and they're like, I want it to be right in the middle. Obviously, Murphy's Law, 25 laps in, you get the caution, it's decision time. And now you have to live with the consequences.
It's like you knew, Adam.
But it's not over till it's over here. We could get a yellow at any time.
There's Taylor Gray in the 5th position. He's rooting for this thing to stay green, making his first ever start. And if he can come out and finish 5th, man, what a tremendous job that would be. And we see a green flag pit stop. Cole Custer coming in. So they said, you know what? We're not going to wait on a caution. We're going to come down, get the fresh tires, and try to make it up. Regan?
Well, Adam, part of them going ahead and pitting right now. Cole was fearful. He had a tire getting ready to come apart. Wasn't 100% certain that it would make it to the end. They ended up having to come to pit road.
So in that situation, if you think you might have a problem, you got to go ahead and come and make it happen. Not totally a strategy call, but a safety call for the driver that won the championship last year and is on a ride of top 5 finishes.
And he's still going to make a lot of ground back if the yellow doesn't come out. With these new tires, he's going to lose a lap for sure, maybe even 2 here. We're trying to figure out where he comes back on the racetrack. He had 2 down, it looks like. But he's going to make that back really quick. I don't know if he'll get back to where he was running. But these new tires are going to be a pretty big advantage.
We saw this happen last year to Justin Allgaier, where they felt like maybe they had a problem, and so they said, let's just cut our losses, go ahead and make the stop, get the fresher tires, and see what we can make up. And he was going to do an unbelievable job of driving back through the field. Unfortunately for Justin, the caution came out, and it kind of spoiled their play. Here's 7 Radio speaking of Justin Allgaier.
Cluster just pitched.
I can't take that chance. I mean, it'll pin us laps down.
Yeah, it's a spotter saying, hey, some cars are starting to pay. He's queuing off of Cole Custer when he pitted, not knowing the full story that we heard about him coming in for the possible tire going down.
But he does bring up a good point. Remember, we saw this earlier with Sheldon Creed. These guys have not had to run super long on tires. Maybe the tires will start to come apart.
And that would throw a whole new wrench into the plan.
Yeah, but if you're going to pit 2 under green, you got to give it plenty of time to play out and work, right? Now we're down to 22 laps to go.
Laps to fully recover for sure.
Yeah, at this point, you know, if you didn't pit under green at this point, you've made your bed. You were banking on a caution late. And here comes Cole Custer. He's going to get one of his laps back here.
Yeah, this gets him to 1 lap down as he goes around race leader Chandler Smith.
Which is key. If you're 2 laps down and the caution comes out, that's the death penalty right there. That's going to be tough to be able to recover from 2 laps down.
So Cole Custer right here, 2 seconds a lap faster than the leaders.
Man, he is just flying through there on those tires.
So, you know, if he maintains that, which he's not going to because the tires are going to fall off, he would go win the race. But the tires will fall off, and it'll go to maybe a half second to a second faster.
Coming up next, it's an MLB opening weekend showdown between 2 of the most explosive teams in the league as Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves take on Bryce Harper and the Phillies right here on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Looking forward to baseball. Talked a lot about Taylor Gray today up in the top 5. He's a big Braves fan, so he'll hop out of the car and check it out here on FS1.
The speed difference of Cole Custer right now on his new tires is remarkable as he's just blowing by cars. But like you said, Brad,
not enough
I'd be
laps.
interested to see where he gets back to Justin Allgaier, right? Because Justin's staying out. What would the difference be?
5 miles per hour difference on these tires for Custer over
now
Chandler
that's
Smith.
everywhere around the track. He's 5 miles an hour. That's not just one spot.
Right.
It's 5 mile an hour every bit around the racetrack. So that's really impressive.
Yeah, that's average mile an hour around the racetrack.
Taylor Gray continues to work. Jumps in front of fellow rookie Jesse Love. Custer around his teammate.
I love our Fox graphics here. They can really compare it. So here's Cole Custer on new tires against our leader, Chandler Smith. And this is what, when we say 5 mile an hour faster over the course of a lap, this is what it looks like. It's just a great representation.
Top left. Custer's coming back around and trying to get himself on the lead lap. Going by Sammy Smith, who's on the lead lap, scored 9th. Sammy right now a good bit back from race leader Chandler Smith, so still a lot of ground to make up for Custer, but if it stays green, he's going to pay some dividends on that pit stop, I do believe, especially if you consider that could have lost the tire, which would have really taken them out of contention to have any kind of a finish today.
And Chandler Smith, the leader, he's still running really fast. He was at the last lap a 10th or 2 faster than Eric Almirola. So I guess he didn't burn his tires off when he was getting through that traffic, Joey.
Yeah, I guess not. You know, it's always harder for the leader to get through, you know, cars that are trying to stay on the lead lap. They're racing them hard. They're trying to stay in, you know, the lead lap or stay in that lucky dog position. And it shows the speed that Chandler Smith's got in that race car and how good of a job he's done saving his tires, because he's doing that and still driving away from Eric Almirola.
Goes by A.J. Allmendinger, putting him a lap down. That means there's 13 cars on the lead lap as we highlight Bubba Pollard.
Bubba's done a good job. You know, we said it, how hard it is to jump into a car like this. And now, you know, to run in the top 10 in your first race at a track that's challenging like Richmond, he's got to be happy about that.
So you look at the notable debuts for drivers, and tell you what, here at Richmond, Ryan Blaney, 7th. Cole Custer, talked about him during our practice qualifying show earlier today, was driving for Junior Motorsports. Noah Gregson was incredible when he came here for the very first time.
So I was in that race with Ryan Blaney's debut, and he was so impressive. I left and called Roger Penske and said, yeah, you need to hire this guy. And a few months later, he was driving my truck and had a contract with Roger Penske. So that goes to show you a good debut race means a lot. or can mean a lot to
you. Still getting residuals on that? He's a NASCAR Cup champion
I'm not,
now.
but you know, he did the work, not me. But it certainly is impressive. Bubba Ballard just keeps working his way forward here up to 7th.
Yeah, he's been working on Parker Kligerman here for the last 15 laps or so, trying to get that. There's Austin Hill right there in front of him. And I think this is just some short track racing right here where he's done a good job at saving his tires. These late model guys,
his game.
This is it. Because you think about it, they run these 100-lap features or whatever, and they got to run the same set of tires the whole time. Yes. So they have to manage their car, and that's where they've gotten better than, I think, some of the Xfinity guys that don't have to save tires very often anymore. And you kind of fall out of that skill set a little bit because you don't do it all the time. And that's where his shining moment is coming through right now.
But think about the contracts, and I would tell this to any young racer. You know, last week we were in COTA, and you've got these drivers like Shane Van Gisbergen going to have all that experience of road course racing, big, heavy cars and stock cars, and really excel at it. And we come to a challenge like Richmond, which is kind of a 180-degree challenge, right? You got to take care of the car, take care of the tires. Having a short track racing background can really pay off. And that's what makes it so hard to be a really good NASCAR race car driver. You got to be able to do both. You got to be able to run good on those road courses and find that speed and make pace. And then in these situations, you got to be able to take care of the tires.
I mean, there's everything. And then you have mile-and-a-half tracks that are completely different than what we see here in Richmond. Shit, we used to have dirt on the schedule, and you had to figure out how to do that, too. That's what's, to me, as a race car driver, is so attractive about NASCAR racing.
Oh, we got a slow car in 1 and 2.
Haley Deegan trying to stay out of the way, hopefully. For Chandler Smith's sake, that does not produce a caution.
I don't think she's going to get back, guys.
I don't think so either.
I don't think she's going to get back. This might be our yellow.
We saw this late last year. I think it was Jeremy Clements who had a problem. Couldn't get all the way back around. It brought out the caution, changed everything. 6 to go for Chandler Smith.
Oh, it's going to be really close here.
No power. She's going to barely make it on the pit road.
Chandler Smith is really smiling.
Chandler Smith, a really big fan of Haley Deegan right now, getting back to her pit box so we don't get a caution.
That would have changed everything dramatically.
Allgaier is like, oh, so close.
Yes.
5 remaining at Richmond. Think about Chandler Smith when it comes to Richmond. 2 years ago, driving in the Craftsman Truck Series, dominates and wins. Comes back here last year, is a rookie in the Xfinity Series, driving for Colleague, delivers again, won a stage, led more than 80 laps, and picked up the checkered flag. He's 4 laps away from going back-to-back.
You guys, he's lapped up to 11th place right now. That's the pace of that car. Now, I know there's some different strategies and tires are different and those type of things. That's why some of these really good cars are going down a lap because they have so many laps on their tires. But the point is, he's on rails.
Yes, he is. Cole Custer looks like he's going to catch him here in the next few laps to get back on the lead lap. But a heck of a run for him to drive through the field.
For third, 2 great young drivers, teammates in the Truck Series. Corey Heim, Taylor Gray. Can't say enough about the job Gray has done here today at Richmond.
And these guys right now, end of this run, they are holding on. I mean, really holding on.
2 laps to go. Chandler Smith says, I just want to see that white flag. I don't need a caution, don't need any drama, don't need a restart.
He's lapped all the way up now to 9th place.
You'll see the white flag this time around.
Chandler Smith
lap
likes
to
it.
go, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Now, Chandler Smith loves the white flag, but no one loves it more than all these crew chiefs on pit road who decided to pit.
Absolutely. They look like they made the right decision.
Richmond's like his second home. It's a Richmond runaway for Chandler Smith. He leads over 70 laps and in dominating fashion is going to get his second win of 2024.
Job today. Buddy, way to fight that thing. Did a great job. Nick, you guys were awesome today. Really.
They did a good job managing this race. Obviously a fast race car, a lot of different things could happen, but a very solid day for Chandler Smith. Something I want to note about Cole Custer back into the top 10 right there. Just beat Justin Allgaier on the last lap. Justin stayed out. Cole Custer took tires. Kind of fun to watch that play out.
Chandler Smith wins it. His teammate Eric Almirola is second. Top 3, all from Joe Gibbs Racing. The top 4, all Toyotas. It's the 7th time Joe Gibbs Racing has gone 1, 2, 3, and it's the 12th time the coach has seen one of his drivers pull into victory lane here in the Commonwealth. Corey Heim, great job in 4th. Second best finish for Sam Hunt Racing here at his home track. Jesse Love, the rookie, finishes 5th, his second top 5 of the year. Bubba Pollard back to 6th in his debut. Good day for Kligerman. Austin Hill has his top 5 streak in, but he's top 10 again. Sammy Smith, and we talked about Cole Custer, complete the top 10.
That's a pretty good burnout when those tires are going to come apart.
Allgaier just outside the top 10. Josh Williams finishes 12th today. It's a great pairing. Chandler Smith, first year at Joe Gibbs Racing, with Jeff Mendering, a veteran crew chief who's had success with so many drivers. Third career win for the 21-year-old from Talking Rock, Georgia. Back in the Toyota family and back to victory lane. Let's hear from him, Josh.
Chandler Smith, your first career Xfinity Series win came here at Richmond. You return and you back it up with another one. What can you say about today's performance?
All glory to God, first and foremost. Easter weekend, tomorrow's single most importantly, probably the most important day in all of world history. So make sure to be with your family and your kids if you got kids. Speaking of kids, I cannot wait to get and see my kids. They're here today, my wife, my sons, and I'm ready to celebrate with them. But never give up, never give up. This car was not good stage 1, wasn't good stage 2, but we were able to do some strategy there with our Mobile 1 GR Supra, and this thing was fast as Xfinity Internet then when it counted.
What can you say about the statement that this 81 team is making this season? 2 wins, top 10 in every single race. You guys are on one right now.
Yeah, all glory to God, man. I mean, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be surrounded by all these great men and women at Joe Gibbs Racing. Wouldn't be with the greatest manufacturer, Toyota, back home with them. This is great. I mean, I'm back winning races here consistently on a consistent basis. I think we took over the points lead again today, too. So I'm just blessed. I'm beyond blessed. I can't wait to get to victory lane, celebrate with my guys, my wife, my kids. It's going to be a good day, and then get up tomorrow and go to church.
Chandler Smith, your winner at Richmond.
Eric Almirola comes home in second place today, part of a Joe Gibbs Racing 1, 2, 3 finish. I know that's not the position you wanted there. What did you lack at the end of that race?
Well, we just got a little bit too loose. The run before that in stage 2, when I took off, my car was really, really good. And at the end, just built a little bit tight. And that last run, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a different set of tires or what, but I paced myself. I let Chandler go. And then when I started to try and just creep back to him, I didn't have anything to go with. I was too loose in, and I couldn't get the throttle down on exit. So hate that to win both stages and feel like we had the dominant car, and then to let it slip away there at the end is disappointing. But so fun this weekend, coming back to Richmond 18 years after making my first start for Coach, and he gets us on the car on Easter weekend. So it's been amazing to see what God's done in my life over the last 20 years since I got that phone call from Coach and JD to come drive for them. And I really wanted to put this thing in victory lane today for them, but it's going to have to wait.
You've been a big part of Joe Gibbs Racing this year about helping the younger guys. I saw you congratulate Taylor Gray as he got over here. What's it mean to see that 1-2-3 finish as a company?
Well, it's huge. I think a lot of people just don't realize how much work goes into the organization over the offseason to get it to where it's at. And, to add a whole fourth team to the organization was a huge undertaking. So just really proud of all the men and women back at the shop at Joe Gibbs Racing and everybody for working so hard to get a fourth team up and going and to have the speed that we've had every single week. One of our cars can win every single weekend, so it's a lot of fun to come to the racetrack like this, and looking forward to Martinsville. Martinsville is going to be a lot of fun. It's been a great racetrack for Joe Gibbs Racing and one of my favorite racetracks, so we'll go there and try and go one spot better than this weekend.
Thanks, Eric.
Look at our top 10 from today's race. The stat holds true. You sweep the stages, and your teammate gets the trophy. Eric Almirola winning stage 1, stage 2. Chandler Smith with the win. Chandler Smith average finish this year 3.3. The same for Austin Hill, who was 8th this afternoon.
Wow. Another solid day. Austin Hill closes out with the top 10. Cole Custer, we talked about just a minute ago. Great rebound from that tire issue to get to the top 10.
Taylor Gray, Corey Heim, Jesse Love, all young drivers who delivered big time on the big stage today. Josh?
And in Taylor Gray's debut in the Xfinity Series, comes home with a 3rd place finish. First of all, what was this experience like for you?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, I can't thank all my Joe Gibbs Racing guys enough. They brought me such a fast place of hope. GR Supra, as fast as Xfinity Internet is today. The driver just made too many mistakes to be able to capitalize on such a fast race car. Congrats to Chandler for winning the race. It's a really good day for the Gibbs.
What did you learn today? We saw the little experience there on pit road, and you talk about some mistakes. What can you take away from this as you grow and get better?
I mean, a lot of things, right? I mean, you saw the little mistakes I made, and it just shows you, the difference, right? You go from truck racing, and, your pit road's not as crowded. You're not racing people as tight off pit road, and you leave pit road, or you come to the Xfinity Series, or Cup Series is even worse, and, you're racing people on pit road so much tighter and things like that. So I need to clean up that on my end. Again, apologize to the one group in JRM. Obviously, that was the last thing I intended, was to tear up the race car and ruin their day. So, again, I apologize to them, but, I can't hang my head too low. I mean, such a great day for us.
3rd place finish for Taylor Gray. Regan?
Bubba Pollard comes home 6th in his Xfinity Series debut. You told me before the race you'd be happy with 10th to 15th. I got to imagine you're very happy right now.
Yeah, I just got us behind in qualifying there and made for a long day. But these guys give me a good race car. Junior Motorsports, Andrew, TJ did a great job on top of the box, and I needed that green flag run just to kind of get in the rhythm. This place is tough. It's technical. It's probably one of the tougher places I've been to, and I've been to a lot of places. But yeah, I mean, if I went the guys behind, I think we'd have had a top 5, and I'm happy with it. I enjoyed it. I had fun, and hopefully them fans enjoyed it too.
So you enjoyed it. You got some experience out there. You figured out the tires, everything you needed to do. Do we get to see you again in one of these, as good as that run was?
I hope so. I hope hopefully we can find some sponsorship and maybe go to some different places later on in the year, maybe next year or something. But yeah, the door's open. If we can have any sponsors jump on board, we'd love to have them.
Thanks, Bubba. Nice job.
Well, Corey Heim comes home 4th place today. Strong performance from start to finish all around. What can you say about what you guys were able to do?
Yeah, just super proud of Sam Hunt Racing. The Skier and Steer Super was so good throughout the day. Definitely a huge step in the right direction compared to where we've been this year. So I'm super grateful for everyone over at that organization and Toyota Racing. Super good feeling just to know that we had a car capable of winning today. I feel like we have a couple things to clean up. I feel like we didn't have the track position at the end, but super grateful for everyone involved, and it's good momentum going forward.
You got a number of starts under your belt now in the Xfinity Series. What's the biggest growth for you? What's the biggest thing you've learned over this time?
It's just about reps. With the truck, I've got almost like 50 starts now, and it almost feels like second nature hopping in one of those things. But it's sort of a mental reset getting in an Xfinity car and trying to make this thing go as fast as Xfinity 10G. But it's definitely a different world out here, and there's a lot of good drivers. So I've got some work to do myself to get there.
Strong run for Corey Heim, Regan.
Jesse Love continues to impress in his rookie season, a 5th place finish today. Jesse, what did you think about this Richmond racetrack, and how challenging was it?
It was very, very hard. It was kind of whooped my butt there for a while. But man, that restart, I was like, if we're going to go as fast as Xfinity Internet, it's going to be right now, because that was going to be, if it did go green, it was going to mean everything. And it's pretty hard to pass here. So, we struggled with our wheel and Chevrolet today, like no doubt. It wasn't wasn't our best showing, but I feel like what's made us really good is taking days where we're flat out just not great and just not giving up and gambling a little bit and coming out on you know, somewhat better terms than what we could have been. So wanted to run good for my buddy Brent's birthday. We're missing our guy Don John today. Hope him and his dog are doing all right. But man, I'm looking forward to coming back, and I think we know what to do different next time because there's definitely work to be done. But we get to go race for $100,000 next week.
As you continue to have these good runs, what does that do for your confidence as a rookie when you show up at places that you've never seen before?
It's hard, and this has been the hardest place for sure. I'm not much for saving tires. My dirt background isn't very keen to that, so it's hard for me to save tires, and it's just like managing the racetrack, just like managing the golf course. It's so hard, and you got to be so disciplined. And I wasn't the best at it today, but I'm going to get better. We're going to get our Chevrolet better, and hopefully when we come back, be even stronger.
Thanks, Jesse.
Jesse Love told me earlier today when I asked him about being at Richmond for the first time, he said it's kind of like going to math class. It's really hard, but I feel like he went to school and passed the test today. And top 5 means he's one of the 4 drivers eligible for the Dash for Cash next Saturday night at Martinsville. This was the qualifier. It'll be Chandler Smith, Eric Almirola, Jesse Love, and Parker Kligerman going for the $100,000. The hat trick at Richmond for Chandler Smith 2 years ago. Craftsman Truck Series laid it on him. He said, I like this place. After winning in the trucks, came back last year. Racing is a rookie on the Xfinity side, driving for Colleague, and he gets it done again, beating John Hunter Nemechek. And this season, didn't win the stage like he did last year, but when the money was on the line late in this race, he gets it done, leading 76 laps, picking up his 2nd win of the year and the 3rd of his career. Impressive today for Chandler Smith. Guys, your final thoughts?
Yeah, I thought Chandler did a fantastic job. Obviously, he's taken a liking to Richmond. He knows what he needs in his race car. We talked about it before. Once you get a handle on this place, it just keeps going. The dividend just keeps paying out. And you see that today with Chandler, along with some others with some fun races. Bubba Pollard, I thought that was awesome. 6th place in your first start here. Pretty cool.
What stood out to me about Chandler Smith's win today was, and he said it in his interview, his car was probably not as fast as his teammates at the start of the race, and they made some adjustments to it. He gave the right feedback to his team. They were able to maximize his car, maximize his day. Outside of that, one of the guys we didn't talk about, Parker Kligerman, with a nice recovery. We saw him in the wall about halfway through the race, and he gets a 7th place finish. A lot of great stories and a fun race. Ultimately, the strategy at the end was a huge difference maker for some of these guys and made or break some days and a lot of action in between.
Great job by you two in the booth. We'll see you on track tomorrow. Race day gets us going here on FS1 at 5:30. Over to Fox at 6, 7 Eastern time. It's the Toyota Owners 400 live from Richmond. Baseball's coming up next on FS1. Congratulations to Chandler Smith. He wins it today in the Commonwealth. He's got that short track feel, and we're doing it all again next Saturday night from Martinsville. With Regan Smith, Josh Sims on pit road. In the booth, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano. I'm Adam Alexander saying thank you for watching from Richmond. Enjoy your Saturday evening. Happy Easter. Baseball is coming your way next on FS1.